Well, Timothy, what a surprise.
Morning, ma'am.
You are, awfully eager to partake in the educational experience today, it seems.
What?
You never come to school this early.
Oh, yeah.
Anything wrong?
No.
Timothy! Timothy!
Must be Providence. Simeon Rosgard. I need 2 strong, healthy boys to fill the wood box.
I suppose we can, Miss Crawford.
Good. I'll be inside. You know where to find the wood pile. Fill the bin, please.
Yes, ma'am. Your ma said I'd find you here. Guess what I have to say?
What?
Guess!
I don't want to guess. Just tell me.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Alright. My pa told me last night that he wanted to take me on a special camping trip. Just the 2 of us. What do you think about that?
That's nice.
It's not just nice, stupid.
Don't call me stupid.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, first we'll pack only what we can carry on our backs. Then we'll walk around for 2 days and camp wherever we decide to stop. I think we're going to follow the river as far as it'll take us, and then we'll just set ourselves down and camp for the entire weekend.
It's too cold to go camping.
No, it isn't. Anyway, I'm sure Ma will make us bring everything we need to stay warm. She'll probably pack for us, so we don't need to. Besides, everyone knows you build campfires when you go camping. It doesn't matter what the temperature is like. I can't wait.
It sounds a little dumb.
Why?
What if it snows?
It won't. It hasn't snowed for a really long time.
So? It doesn't mean that it won't snow now. My pa taught me how to smell the snow coming on the wind.
Then what does this smell like? Huh?
It's
What? You can't tell me because you don't know.
I know it's coming, and so does my pa. Take it back.
No, it's silly to smell snow coming on the air. My pa knows what's gonna happen, or he'd never ask me to go on a camping trip in the wilderness.
Some wilderness? You'll be camping out in your pasture.
So what if we do? Then Ma can come along and keep us company.
I'm sick and tired of you bragging about everything you have, Simeon. First my cow, now this camping trip? Some friend.
Don't walk away from me. Come back here.
Don't touch me. Ow!
Come on, you big sissy. Get back here.
Get off of me!
I hate you.
Hey,
Ow,
Simeon!
come on,
Timothy,
let me
watch
go.
out!
Ouch!
Tim, let him go. Let go!
Now sit there and cool off.
Timothy's bleeding.
You see what you did?
I didn't do that. He started it. He was making fun of my camping trip.
You just wait until Pa hears about this. The only trip you'll be taking is the kind you take to the woodshed. Now stay, and don't touch him.
What in heaven's name?
Sorry, Mrs. Crawford. We have it under control.
What happened?
We found the boys fighting out here in the playground. We still don't know why. Tell us what happened, Tim. Timothy!
Let him go.
I'm surprised. Timothy Barry doesn't act that way. Now you, Simeon, do you want me to go tell your parents that you've been starting arguments and finishing them with your fists? And after I gave you very clear instructions.
I didn't start the fight. He did.
Simeon, I suggest you do whatever Miss Crawford told you to do.
Leave me alone.
You will do as I say. Fill the wood bin and stack that extra pile besides. You know better than to start this sort of nonsense on school property.
This is stupid.
Simeon.
Go! And watch your mouth.
Sorry again, Miss Crawford. I'll tell Pa when we get home this afternoon.
I'm sorry too, Adam, because I need to send Simeon home early. It's district policy. It's important to set an example for all the others, and to keep him from doing it again.
Fine by me.
Sean, please go find Timothy and bring him back. We'll need to tell his father. Tim may be innocent most of the time, but he certainly wasn't today.
Sure, Miss Crawford. I'll find him.
You might want to check his nose. Make sure my brother didn't break it or anything.
Oh, man. Did we ever do that?
No, I was, too afraid of you.
Tim, you want to talk?
No.
Okay.
I bet Miss Crawford's pretty mad at me, huh?
She's worried about you, yeah? And so will everybody else if you don't come back to school.
Sean Carter, how do you know that your pa really loves you?
He tells me. And he shows me.
My pa prayed for your pa last year when you were missing.
I know.
And he loves you. And you still ran away from home.
Yeah. I did.
Why?
I was scared. I didn't believe anyone could love me. And I didn't believe that I could love anyone else but myself. I don't think I even loved myself.
You came back.
I did. Running away wasn't the smart thing to do.
Because your pa loves you.
Yeah, that's right. Did you know my pa came looking for me?
Really?
Sure. And he found me. Timothy, that's why I really came home. My pa knew where I was, and for the first time in my life, I mattered to my dad.
I don't think my pa would come looking for me.
Yes, he would.
No, he wouldn't. My pa isn't like your pa. Your pa is rich. He can afford to find anybody he wants to.
Timothy, what if you were a dad?
What?
Listen to me for a minute. What if you were a dad, and the country was very poor, and you had 3 kids and a baby on the way, and all you had was a farm that wouldn't grow anything? What would you do?
I'd go out and get a job so my kids would have what they need.
There are no jobs.
Then, I don't know.
The only thing my pa ever really wanted to do for me when he adopted me was to take care of me and love me as his son. He worried about me too. Your pa worries about you because he wants the best for you. And I promise that when he feels like he can't give you what you need, he's gotta be the most disappointed man in the world.
You think so?
I think so. Hey, you know what you can do?
No,
Talk to him.
I can't.
Yes, you can. It's always a little scary at first, I know. That's because our paws are very important to us. We need to remember, though, that we're very important people to them, too. They want to know what we're thinking, because they might be thinking the same thing.
I don't know.
And trust me.
Maybe.
Well, you ready to go back to school?
No,
Timothy,
I can't. They'll all be talking about me, Sean, and Simeon will be there. My pa's going to find out we started a fight, and I can't go back there.
you can't hide from this, Timothy. You know that. Where are you going?
I can't tell you. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Timothy, please. Don't run away.
Have some milk.
Thanks, Grandma.
Now, tell me what happened.
I don't want to talk about it.
You best talk about it.
Timothy, your pa will need an explanation eventually, so you might as well practice with us.
Simeon was bragging about his pa. How his pa's going to take him camping somewhere far away, and he wouldn't stop talking about it.
You were jealous.
I guess. Not really.
Can't be both.
I think this has to do a whole lot more with something else than it does with Simeon and his pa going on some camping trip.
You disappointed, kid?
Pa doesn't care that we're losing the farm, Grandpa. We have animals that depend on me.
They'll be fine.
Wherever you go, there will always be animals.
We're not moving anywhere now.
What do you mean?
I heard Ma and Pa talking last night. We're not moving away, which means all this will be a big old waste of time.
Then where on God's green earth are you gonna live?
Your pa hasn't said anything to us. What did you hear?
Pa wants to be a minister. He wants to move to the parsonage.
A reverend? He can't do something like that. He's got no training.
Pa told my ma, I already know that we can't take any of the animals with us. Ministers don't have farm animals. Maybe a horse. But that means we won't ever have animals again. Pa doesn't want to be a farmer, and he won't want me to be a farmer. And he'll be angry at farmers forever. But Grandma, that's all I want to do when I grow up. It's not fair.
Where are you going?
To find my son.
Before you do anything unreasonable, stop. If your father...
My father? My father busted the sod of this farmstead almost 70 years ago. Whitney of Samuel spent half as much time trying to save this farmstead.
Dad? Ma? Tim, we're going home. Miss Crawford told me what happened today. Get your things.
No. We need to speak with you first, and then take the boy wherever it is you feel you need to go.
All right.
Timothy told us about your calling.
How did you know about that, Tim?
I heard you talking last night, Pa, when you thought I was in bed.
I don't know how you came to this conclusion, Sam. But I see my grandson awfully confused about everything that's going on, and I think he needs some answers from his father.
I'll talk to him.
When?
Not here, Ma.
Then where? Where? At home? After you've made your decision? After you've turned his whole world upside down?
I have no control over that.
You did once.
You know, say it. Say it, Dad, whatever it is.
You have less than a week to save what's been left in this family for 3 generations. Moving your family into the parsonage so that you can feel some sort of personal spiritual accomplishment?
It's not like that.
This isn't about the money anymore. It's about Timothy's future.
Tim, get your coat. Timothy? I talked to your mom. We talked about what happened in school today. We feel you owe Miss Crawford and Simeon an apology.
But you didn't hear him, Pa. He went on and on about his stupid camping
Tim?
trip. He said you didn't know anything about the weather and that you can't smell the snow coming on the wind just like you said. But I know you can, and that's what I told him.
Stop. I don't care what Simeon or anyone else says about me. What you did was inappropriate, and you owe him an apology. I'm thankful that Adam and Sean came to school in time to stop you two from really hurting yourselves. Now, come into the house for supper.
I'm not hungry.
Fine.
I don't care what Sean Carter says. My Pa won't come looking for me. Not at all.
Sarah, the plates. Where do they go?
Over there on the counter, Evelyn. Thanks. The teacups need to be washed again. The dust is on everything, even in town.
This parsonage is no Sistine Chapel.
No, but I don't want to live in a chapel.
And you don't want to live here.
Am I being selfish?
No, but you will be okay.
I had my babies in that house, Evelyn. Every time I walk through that flower garden, I remember what it was like the day I married Sam. Our lives will be so different now.
Yes, but in a good way.
Mrs. Barry, I have the bookcase. Simeon wants to know where to put the radio.
Tell him to be very careful.
He is, Mom.
Never mind the radio. It's broken. Leave it outside until we find room for everything else.
Sarah?
In the kitchen.
I'm heading over to the church for a while to take care of a few things while I have some daylight.
You're leaving now?
You know I'm not ready for services tomorrow.
But this house is an absolute mess.
Everything's unloaded from the wagon. Ben's taking care of the horse. You don't need my help in the kitchen anyway.
We'll call you for supper.
Evelyn.
Sarah will be okay.
And don't lift anything you're not supposed to. Evelyn?
I'll keep an eye on her.
Thanks. Oh, and when you see Timothy, Sarah, tell him it's his responsibility to put his things away and not yours. I love you.
Mrs. Barry.
Oh, Adam, I'm sorry. Put the shelf in the bedroom, please.
Sure.
Mama?
Yes, darling?
I'm worried about the kittens.
We talked about this.
But what if something happened?
Nothing will happen.
No one's on the farm to help them if something does.
Honey, they're fine. Now take your things upstairs. Carefully take your clothes out of the box and put them carefully in the dresser. Save room for Timothy's clothes. You both will need to share that space. It's the only bedroom we have up there.
Yes, Ma.
Where's your brother?
I don't know.
He can't be far. I saw him with Ben just a few minutes ago.
Ma,
There you go.
come outside. What's going on?
I can't imagine what this could be.
Look, Ma. It's Mr. Johnson's puppy. Hi, Gracie.
Gracie's in town? That's odd.
She's awfully far away from home.
Maybe she tried to run away.
No.
She just ended up here instead because she knows who we are.
I don't think so, Tim. She's pretty loyal to Mr. Johnson.
Is she okay? She's limping. Look, Timothy, she's limping. Ma, we gotta help her.
Poor thing. She won't make it all the way home feeling that way.
She better stay with us for a while. Don't you think? You think Pa would let her stay until she feels better, Ma?
I think it's better if the dog goes back to stay with Mr. Johnson, especially if something isn't right.
Then, can I take her home myself?
That's very far, Tim.
That's almost 4 miles out on the other side of town.
Pa lets me drive the wagon sometimes.
When he's with you.
We can take her home, Sarah. Ben will be fine with that.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Oh, Ma.
Hey, wait a minute. There's Mr. Johnson's car on the other side of church. See?
She's right. I bet the dog came all the way into town just to find him.
Timothy, why don't you take the dog over to Mr. Johnson right now? Then come back and help me finish unpacking. I'm surprised you didn't see his car.
Yes, Ma.
Sarah, you look like you need some water. Come inside and sit down. You can tell me where to put things.
Sure.
You have plans for Thanksgiving?
Not really.
Oh, come to our place. Bring your in-laws.
You better do as Mom said.
I will. Just give me a minute, okay? I wish we had a dog.
She's not for sale.
Not this dog. Oh, never mind.
You knew Mr. Johnson was at the church, didn't you?
Tell Ma I'll be right back.
I want to come.
No, just tell her.
Timothy!
Mr. Johnson, I'm glad you stopped in.
Didn't stop for you. This pew needed fixing.
I want you to know that I'm awfully sorry about Anne.
Don't apologize for something you didn't do. Ow!
I can take care of that on Monday.
No, I'll do it myself.
Will I see you in church tomorrow?
Not a chance.
Why not?
Number 1, you're no preacher. Number 2, I don't need any sympathy from any of Anne's friends. Number 3, God took the best thing that ever happened to me. You just can't look at him in the face right now.
Pa?
Tim, I'm busy. Oh, Tim, you know better than to bring a dog into the church like this.
Gracie was at the parsonage.
Gracie was supposed to wait for me at home.
She's limping.
I know. She got into something she wasn't supposed to. And it looks like it's gotten worse. Fool dog for walking this far.
Timothy, why don't you go back to the parsonage now and help your mother finish the unpacking?
Why do you suppose she came all this way, Mr. Johnson?
I don't know. She's never done this before.
I think she's lonely.
What?
She's lonely. Without your wife there, Mr. Johnson, she doesn't have anyone to keep her company when you come into town. But she could stay with us and have someone to play with every day.
Tim.
She could, Pa.
She can't. Gracie is Mr. Johnson's dog.
Yes, she is. See you later, Sam.
But I know what's wrong with her.
Yeah?
Take a close look at her right front paw. Her foot is cut open.
Really?
Deep inside, where you might not notice it. See?
Well, I'll be. It is.
Something's in it.
Gracie was messing around in the barn this morning, and she let out a howl of the likes I've never heard. Nothing seemed to be wrong with her, except this limp that keeps tripping her up. I didn't see any broken bones, so I didn't bother myself with anything but a pat-down. Later, I found the barn lantern tipped over and the shade all smashed up.
Glass.
You bet.
If it stays there, you'll have a bigger problem to deal with. It'll only get infected.
I suppose you're right. Wish I'd seen it.
Look, just take a wet cloth and gently press it into the wound like this. Cloth should snatch up the piece right away.
Would you listen to this? Thanks, kid. I will.
Mr. Johnson, I know you're sad about your wife, but Gracie is here, and she's alive.
Come, Gracie.
I wish we had a dog.
You go see if your ma needs a hand, like I told you.
Yes, Pa.
Sarah, good morning. Tim, what do you think of your pa?
He was okay.
Timothy.
Sarah.
Judge Cotter.
Samuel, very nice.
Thanks, Ma.
Can I go home? I have homework to do.
Really? I've never heard you say that sort of thing before.
Sarah, he's only making excuses to get out of being with the family.
Sam,
Timothy, why don't you come home with Grandma instead? I'll make you a special plate with your favorite things. Let's find your sister. Here, Sarah, I'll take Jason with me, and you come with Samuel when you can. Meet you at the cabin. It's not quite like how things were, but the space is comfortable. You'll come?
Of course.
TJ!
Yep. Good afternoon, Judge.
Sam, nice work.
Sure.
Your father is proud of you, Sam. He just doesn't know how to say it.
I don't believe that. What's done is done. We can't change things now, even if I wanted to.
You want to?
I didn't say that.
Then tell me the truth. What you told Ethan is what you believe. You still believe that being a minister is what God has called you to do?
Yes. Sarah, of course. Look, why don't you go to the Monson cabin without me? I want to check on Mr. Johnson, maybe have a bite to eat with him instead. You spend time with the children. If I don't see you, I'll see you at home.
Please come with us.
Ann died 3 weeks ago, Sarah. Why isn't he coming to church?
Please, we've hardly seen you since we moved into town. The children are always asking why. I'm tired of making excuses for you. I'd like an explanation myself.
This job is an enormous responsibility. I thought you'd understand that.
That's not fair.
Well, it isn't fair to expect me to be all things to all people.
And not anything to us ever again?
Stop.
Look, your parents are fine with the kids on their own. If it's that important to you, I'll go see Mr. Johnson myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, good afternoon.
Sam? Sarah?
We thought you'd like a visit.
Not today.
Another time then?
Just not ready for company.
We understand.
But you will call us.
He'll call you.
I won't let him go, Sarah.
Why?
Why? Sarah, you know how this turns out. First, Johnson will stop coming to church. Then he'll stop being with people. He'll stop believing that we care. And then he'll stop believing that God cares about him. Oh, before you know it, he doesn't care about anything, and he's spending the rest of his life cooped up in this old farmhouse with the dog. As his pastor, I don't think I'm supposed to let that just happen.
But who's really in charge?
What do you mean?
I mean, be patient. God knows the situation better than you ever will. Trust that. It's not over, but not because you say so. Anyway, he's watching us.
Who?
Mr. Johnson.
He is?
Don't look.
Why?
Sam.
Okay. But you see, he needs us, and he knows it. Human beings were not created to be solitary creatures.
We were never created to be a lot of things. I love you, Sam, but just please get in the car.
It's getting cold out there.
Judge, Sean, good morning.
Hey, Henry.
Morning, Henry. I've come to see if you've got any fresh produce in stock.
Well, not in a while. Well, unless you count those rotten potatoes that were shipped in from southern Dakota.
Pa just wanted an excuse to get out of the house.
That's not what I said.
You did say that, and Miss Sally saw right through it just like I did. Henry, my pa knows you don't have anything in stock, and you should have seen the look on Miss Sally's face when he promised her a watermelon.
Watermelon? Haven't carried those for a very long time. In fact, not since the Roosevelt campaign. Well, why would you say something like that to your housekeeper?
Miss Sally's relatives are coming from Wisconsin today. They're due in at the train station around 4:30. It's keeping her awfully busy, and she's awfully excited about it. She has an older niece about Pa's age. She's been writing to her about him for a while now.
Sean.
They're staying until Christmas.
Really? Wait, they're asking for watermelon this time of year? Tell Sally to get them to bring their own. They must be faring far better in Wisconsin than we are in Iowa if that's what they expect to see at the table.
She's got the whole place turned upside down, and Amanda's doing all she can to keep up with her orders. Honestly, the whole thing makes my sister nervous. She doesn't like the idea of my pa getting married again.
Sounds like a big deal.
More than you know.
Miss Sally's convinced she'll have Pa married off by New Year's Eve.
Ah, I see. Hardly a moment to shake hands and planning the ceremony well before you know her middle name.
You got it.
Sal's got quite the New Year's resolution.
It isn't my resolution.
Don't listen to anything he says, Henry. He bought himself a new suit.
For Christmas, Sean.
For Christine, Dad.
Well, hey, Sam.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
What can I get you?
Just one writing tablet today, please, Henry.
Tell you what, I'll even throw in a few extra pencils.
Sure.
You like the parsonage, Sam?
Yeah, it's small, but it's home. It's been easier keeping that little house warm than it ever was keeping my mom and dad's house from freezing over.
Your pastoral duties are keeping you pretty busy over there. I see Tim running all over the place, but I only see you on Sundays.
I guess I didn't expect this sort of job to be so time-consuming, but I'm happy so far. I feel useful, and I like knowing that I have something to give the community.
You must be planning a Christmas Eve service by now.
Sure. Help spread the word. Christmas Eve, 5:30 at the church.
We'll be there.
Good.
4 customers? I hardly know what to do with myself. Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Henry, I don't want to bother you. I don't need anything important today.
You got it. Judge, anything else? The best I can tell you is that I hope to have watermelon in stock again maybe next decade.
Watermelon?
It's a long story.
I can tell it again.
No. Henry, I'd like to ask you for your permission to sit down in the corner over there at the table, play a friendly game of checkers with my son.
Take all the time you need.
I will.
Mr. Johnson, it's nice to see you.
I saw your wagon out front, and I thought I'd try to catch you before you headed back to the church. I wanted to ask you something. Will you tell your wife thanks for me?
Sarah?
You got another one?
No, it's just that.
She sent a chicken pie over to my house a few days ago. It didn't seem appropriate to let it all hang in the air like that without something being said.
She's at the parsonage, Will.
Nah, that's fine. You thank her.
Sure. Johnson?
Yeah?
Come to church on Sunday, if you'd like. It's Christmas, almost.
Don't worry about me. Say hi to Tim.
I will.
Well, it's so good to see him up and around again.
Not really.
No?
Oh, he comes into town when he has to, mostly to pick up his mail.
For the grieving, sometimes that's enough.
Yeah, but why won't he come to church?
Maybe it reminds him too much of her.
But if I lost Sarah, Sean, I'd find myself at the altar every day pleading for anything.
Spoken like a man who still has his wife.
Come on, Judge.
Sam, I'm speaking from experience, and you know that. Or have you forgotten?
No, I'm sorry.
You know, after Laura died, I saw death in everything for a while. Every time I went to church, every time I looked at the cross, it reminded me of death. And it reminded me of her, that I simply couldn't have her anymore. I knew the truth well enough about heaven and eternity, but I needed time to remember that death doesn't have the victory in the end.
I had no idea what church was when my other pa died.
And remember, the disciples didn't stand at the tomb, waiting for Jesus to come back to life. They had absolutely no idea. Johnson may choose not to stand at the door of any church for a while, but not because he doesn't believe there's a heaven and that Anne's there. I promise you that the loss is still very real, and everyone deals with it differently.
I guess.
Don't worry. God is a whole lot bigger than someone's decision whether or not to sit in a pew. He hasn't forgotten him. Be a shepherd, Sam, but be patient.
That's what Sarah said.
Listen to her. Listen to her as often as you can.
Uh-oh, something doesn't look good.
What's the matter?
Someone's in trouble, see?
What?
Hey, it's Lenora.
Maybe there's something wrong with Ben, or one of the boys.
I don't know.
Here she comes.
Sam?
Yeah?
We need you.
Lenora, what happened?
Ma says to come quick, Judge. We need you, Sam, right away. Ma and I stopped over for a visit only a half an hour ago. Sarah said the pain started this morning, but she couldn't leave the other children to go find you, and Tim couldn't find you at the church. I think it's getting bad.
Sean, take the car and go get Miss Sally.
Sure.
Tell Amanda that she may need to meet Miss Sally's relatives at the train station for her.
Sure, Pa. I'll go as fast as I can.
Good.
Ma's helping Sam, but Adam went to get the doctor.
Dear Lord.
Sam, we'll take your wagon. It'll only take us minutes to get across town. Henry, keep an eye out for Haskins. If Adam can't find him, you see him first. Send him over to the parsonage as fast as you can.
Of course.
Let's go.
Sarah, can you tell me when they started?
No, maybe off and on since this morning.
Do you feel any unusual pain?
I don't think so. It just feels like the baby is coming, just like the others did.
Okay, you lay still. When you feel anything, I want you to make a mark on this notepad on the table right next to your bed here, all right?
But doctor, is the baby gonna be okay? Please be honest with me.
Sweetheart, the baby isn't where it should be. But I don't want you to worry about this right now. I need you to rest.
Is Samuel here?
He will be. Sarah, he will be.
The wind's picking up.
Maybe it will snow. Christmas is almost here.
I can't wait. I hope we get lots of presents.
Simeon.
What? I do. Ow! Hey, stop! Where are we going?
What's the matter with you?
I didn't say anything.
Stop thinking about yourself and help me distract Tim and Angela from what's happening with their mom.
Nothing's happening, Adam. First, your mom was so afraid that Mrs. Barry would have the baby right here in the middle of the living room. And then everyone was running around all scared that something would happen to the baby when she did. And now, we don't even know what to do with ourselves because the doctor is here and nothing's happening.
We don't know that. They don't know that. But Timothy and Angela are afraid of what could happen. Stop worrying about you and think about them for a change.
Fine.
Good.
I'm sorry.
Adam, Mama said that we might not get any presents for Christmas this year. But Santa will come anyway, right? Even if he comes just for fun?
I think he will.
But what if he can't find us? He thinks we're at the farm, not the parsonage.
What's going on in here?
Santa Claus knows where you live, Angie. Besides, he's not really...
Simeon.
Ma, is Mrs. Barry going to be alright? I think everyone needs to know what's going on, if you know what I mean.
I know. Tim, Angela, sweetheart, come sit by me. Do you remember last summer, over a year ago, when your little brother Jason was born?
He came very fast. Pa wasn't home then either.
We were there. Mama was so scared. But you helped her just like you're helping her now, Mrs. Rosgard. Both you and Miss Sally came into the farm kitchen. You told us that we had a new baby brother. I could hear that baby crying at the top of his lungs. That's how I knew it was okay.
That's right. But every baby is very different. We need to pray for your ma and pray for the baby. Pray that this baby will cry at the top of his lungs when all is said and done.
Mama's scared now too, isn't she? She even started to cry.
Angie, don't tell them that.
Well, she did. Mrs. Rosgard can know. Anyway, I don't think this baby's okay like Jason was.
Oh, you don't know that. And Dr. Haskins is a very good doctor. He knows what to do if something happens.
Hey, Tim, why don't you come into the kitchen for a while, and I'll teach you how to play chess. Angela, you want to learn?
Really?
Sure. Simeon.
What?
Help me.
Okay.
Mrs. Rosgard?
Yes, Timothy?
Do you think maybe sometime soon I can see my mom again? I don't know where Pa is. If he doesn't come home, she'll need me.
Oh, Tim, is that what you've been worrying about this whole time? Lenora will find your pa, I promise. Now Adam's waiting for you. Doctor, what do you think?
Well, she's resting. The contractions aren't consistent, just faster than I'd like them to be.
Will she have this baby today?
It's just too early to tell, but the baby is breech. If this baby does decide to come, I'll have to turn it. And I just don't like that idea.
Ma?
Oh, thank heavens you're back, Lenora. Sam, Judge.
How is she?
She's resting, nothing yet.
Good.
Can I see her?
I need to speak with you first, privately.
Lenora, Adam and Simeon are in the kitchen with the children. Help me start some lunch.
Sure, Ma.
Sam, your wife's condition is very serious. I told Sarah many, many times that there would always be a risk of having this baby early.
I know.
It's early for the baby to come, but not so early that the baby won't be able to survive outside the womb.
That's a relief.
However, the baby is in a very dangerous position. If he decides to come now, it'll be a very risky birth. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
I'll stay with you, Sam.
That's a good idea.
And I don't want you thinking the worst.
No, she'll be okay. She'll be all right.
The kids shouldn't know. Let things happen.
Okay.
Pa, you came home.
Somebody with Jason?
He's fine, Pa.
Timothy, go into the kitchen, and I'll see you in a minute.
Dr. Haskins! Dr. Haskins! Who on earth?
Sounds like John Schmidt.
Sounds like an emergency.
Dr. Haskins! It's Mr. Johnson. He fell. The neighbor kid found me, and he was acting like a lunatic. He came running down the lane with his hands in the air, and he was huffing and puffing up the hill as fast as his chubby little legs would carry him. By the time he got to me, he was working so hard to breathe, I thought he'd have a heart attack and fall face first into my empty cabbage patch. Oh, it was all I could do to get him to tell me what was wrong. I guess he found Mr. Johnson out by the road and thought he was dead.
He isn't, though, is he?
You think I'd run all the way over here to tell you that? No, TJ and I got him into my wagon and drove him back to his house. He's in bed, though I think he's still unconscious.
Fine, give me a lift.
Of course.
John?
Yeah?
What happened?
Looks like he fell. And Sam, I think he did it on purpose.
What?
I found his horse. The lead rope was still hanging off his neck.
I'm on my way.
I'm going with you.
No, I need you to stay here with your family. The last thing we want is for you to be stranded somewhere else.
Stranded?
Sure. Storm's on the way. We're not used to it, so I don't know if anyone's paid any close attention, but those clouds look unreal. It's sort of like watching a tornado come in from the west, a big, cold tornado. It'll just be a matter of time before it starts to snow.
Which means that I need to get out to the Johnson place and back before something really does happen.
Evelyn, I trust you to take care of the kids.
What?
It's just like last time.
It is not like last time.
Sam.
Ethan,
No.
listen to me. I need you to stay with my family and be with my wife until I come back. I don't want Sean to worry about coming after you if the weather does get bad.
Pa, it's snowing. Did you see? Hey, what are you doing?
Tim, I want you to stay with Lenora and her mom and keep your sisters safe. I'm going with Dr. Haskins to see Mr. Johnson.
Not now, Pa. Please? You don't need to visit Mr. Johnson again. Wait until later. Wait until after the baby is here.
Let me go. Please, Tim.
Pa, we need you. Please don't leave again. You just got home.
Let go.
Timothy.
Please, Pa.
Lenora.
Yes, Ma?
Find your father and tell him to get over to the Johnson farm and tell him his only job today is to bring Sam Barry and Dr. Haskins back into town. If the weather gets worse, you stay there.
Yes, Ma.
Good. And be careful.
Mama?
Hi, sweetheart. Where's Tim?
I'm right here. We finally got to see you. Are you okay?
Is the baby coming now? We prayed that it wouldn't. Is that all right?
Yes. Your brother or sister will come when the good Lord wants him to. You don't need to be afraid.
Why were you crying?
Angie, don't bother her with that.
But I want to know.
It's okay, Tim. It's true, I was. And you know, sometimes even mamas get scared.
Does it hurt?
Not right now.
Can I help?
With what?
We just want to help you, Ma. Please, just tell us what to do.
Oh, I'm afraid there isn't much you can do. Are you praying?
Very hard.
Good. Tim?
I'm trying.
No prayer is perfect. It's talking. Tell God how you feel and what you need, and most importantly, tell him that you know he will answer you. I think he likes that.
But Mama, can I do something with my hands? Praying is in my heart. My hands are bored.
I know. Why don't you two think of something really nice to do for the baby while you wait? Something special. Something only you can think of.
I don't know what.
And you'll think of something.
All right. I love you, Mama.
I love you too. Come see me again.
Sleep good.
I will. Timothy, have you talked to your pa?
What do you mean?
You should. You know things haven't been right between the two of you for a long time. It isn't right. I know you don't like it any more than he does right now.
Sure, Ma. But sometimes talking to Pa is like, well, it's like talking to God. It hurts too much.
You're growing up very fast. I don't think I've ever seen you so strong or capable of doing anything you set your mind to.
Thanks, Ma.
But remember, you weren't made to live this life alone. You need your pa.
I know. Sleep now, Ma. Get some rest.
Mr. Johnson?
What happened?
Well, you fell off your horse.
Well, that would explain the constant galloping around in my head.
Well, did you fall on purpose?
Is that what you think? Sam, ow!
Take it easy. Haskins also said you cracked a few ribs.
Oh, great. Ugh. When did you turn into such a meddling neighbor?
I see you've missed me.
Oh no, I don't remember you being quite so annoying. I do remember you as a kid, though.
It's the medicine Doc gave you.
No. You'd come over for coffee with your paw so that you could pretend to be a veterinarian making a call. And then you remember when Ann helped you schedule a checkup for every cow I had? She wrote it all down on a piece of paper so I'd know when to expect you for a visit.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Timothy. He's a lot like you.
Thanks.
So, you worried about my soul?
Well, it's my job.
Don't call it a job.
Then it's my calling.
I don't think so.
Don't start.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm no saint. But I'm not stupid. I know what you've been up to. I know what you're doing. But in all you're doing, you've missed the point about me.
I don't think I understand.
My wife left no little influence on my heart. I know Jesus, Sam. Personally. Don't look too surprised.
No.
Then don't look too disappointed. And she beat you to it about 15 years ago. I was mad at my farm, mad at my daughter for not being a son, mad at my wife for every critical thing she said to me. But then, we lost Edith.
I know.
That's right. She was in school with you when everything happened. Edith's illness taught me something, Sam. What appeared to be hopeless seemed that way because I made it so. What seemed like a critical comment was only that way because, well, that's how I choose to hear it. I stopped listening to my wife and then made myself hear what it was she was actually wanting me to believe. I was jealous. Jealous of Edith for what she gained after she died, and now I'm jealous of Ann more than I ever was of Edith. I said a lot of foolish things. Things that probably led you to believe that I didn't believe in God at all.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry. Old habits die hard, I guess. It's always easier for me to lie down in the valley of the shadow than it is for me to sit up and enjoy the green pastures, you know? It's the same with Reverend Cole. It's far easier being angry at the man than it is to forgive him for what he's done.
You know, we all hurt because of what happened in our church. But Ethan is right.
How so?
I don't think we need to panic about replacing Reverend Cole. We need to pray for healing instead. It'll be far better in the long run. Because we won't be as afraid to commit to another human being.
That's it. That's what it is. I respect Ethan Carter, and I respect you. But it didn't matter. You both stepped into that pulpit, and all I could see was inevitable disappointment.
Johnson, human beings will always disappoint us. That's why Jesus teaches us how to forgive. First, though, I think we need to forgive ourselves.
Oh, I wish I knew how to say what it is that's in my head the way that you do.
I think you're doing all right. Ben?
The doctor wants to get back to Sarah, and it's snowing pretty hard.
Sarah? What's the matter?
The doc thinks the baby's coming early.
Are you crazy? What are you doing here with me? Take your tail out of this house and pay attention to the sheep that need you the most.
Yes, sir.
Will, the doc says rest. I'm leaving my kids here with you.
All right.
Good night, Mr. Johnson.
Sam, I want you to have something.
Okay.
Over there, on the dresser next to some of Ann's things. That package. I want you to take it and give it to Sarah.
What is it?
What does it look like? It's a gift. That new little kid of yours will need a Christmas present.
You know this isn't necessary.
Take it. It was supposed to be for Ann. She'd want you folks to have it, knowing the situation. She'd be fussing all over that baby if she could.
Thank you.
Sam, we gotta go.
Well, take care of yourself.
You too. Lord, bless him.
starving, Ma.
I know. Dinner's on the stove. There's bread on the counter, and be careful with that milk.
She ate a little, Mrs. Rosgard, but Sarah says she's far too tired to think about anything else.
Well, Amanda, we tried. I'm glad you came. I'm sorry Miss Sally couldn't be here. She'd know exactly what to do.
She wanted to be, but she has all those relatives coming in on the afternoon train, and if that train's on time, they'll be here in less than an hour. Pa wanted me to meet them so she could be here to help with the baby, but she insisted I come here instead. She didn't want me sitting at a train station if the weather got any worse. She's tough, that Miss Sally. A blizzard can stop a train, but Miss Sally could stop a blizzard if she really wanted to.
I wish she would. Ma, I'm tired of sitting here with nothing to do.
Okay, then, you eat that last bite, and I'll send you outside to help Sean and Judge Carter stack the wood.
Really? Why can't I keep my big mouth shut?
Consider this a lesson in propriety, son.
What does that mean?
Ask Adam when you see him again. He learned that lesson a long time ago. Now remember to bundle up. It's cold and windy out there, but the job will go faster with the three of you. Amanda, have you seen any change in Sarah since the last time I checked on her myself?
Not that I can tell. But I don't know if I could tell, if you really needed me to. I don't know what I'm doing, Mrs. Rosgard.
You were along with Miss Sally when Jason was born. Simeon, put that food down like I said and find your coat.
I sat with the children in the kitchen. It was as far as Miss Sally would let me go. Do you think Sarah will be all right?
Yes.
How do you know?
Well, because I do. Because I won't allow myself to believe otherwise, Amanda, and that's that.
Mrs. Rosgard?
What happened to you?
Why, Tim, you're trembling. Look, Mrs. Rosgard, he's as white as a sheet.
Come here, Timothy. Have you eaten something you shouldn't have?
No.
Did you fall and hurt yourself?
No.
Well, then what's all this about?
I...
Well, spit it out. Then if you have something to say.
I can't find my sister.
What?
That's nonsense.
No, I thought she was with you, Mrs. Rosgard. I went upstairs to get a blanket and an extra pair of socks. When I came down, she wasn't here. I thought she was with you.
Maybe she's with your ma.
No, I was just in there and Sarah's all alone.
She's hiding, Tim. She's probably playing hide and go seek, and she's hoping that somebody will find her.
Nobody wears a coat and their shoes to play hide and go seek in the house.
She went outside? Timothy, did she go outside?
I don't know.
Well, did you look out the window?
I tried. I only saw Judge Carter and Sean working on the porch. The snow was too thick to see anywhere else but there.
She must have used the back door and bypassed my pa completely.
Simeon, take Timothy into the living room and try every window again. Let us know if you see anything at all that looks familiar to you.
Sure, Ma.
Mrs. Rosgard, what are we going to do? The child just can't disappear? I didn't hear the door open, did you? I know we'd hear something like that.
No, I haven't heard a sound from Angela in over an hour. Oh, I'm kicking myself for not having checked on her when I had the chance. Oh, I'll just have to go find her myself, and you'll have to come with me.
Are you crazy?
Apparently.
But we can't. We can't leave Timothy alone in the house. Jason's asleep in the other room, and what if something happens and no one can get to him?
Oh, Amanda, get your paw. Oh, you're back.
Ben, Sam.
Dr. Haskins.
How's Sarah?
She's sleeping.
I'll check on her, and I'll need some tea.
Whoa, it's getting bad out there. We're glad to see you.
I don't remember the last time we had so much snow, and we finished the woodpile just in time.
And we barely made it through with the car.
And Johnson, you saw him?
He's fine, and better than I ever wanted to hope.
Pa, Angela's missing.
What?
She can't be.
I'm sorry.
She's not outside.
I feel terrible.
What happened?
I don't know.
Sam?
Angie, has anyone been to the church?
No.
Then I'll go.
I'll go with you.
No, Pa.
I'll be back.
It's not that. I know what it feels like to be lost, Dad.
All right, but be careful.
I will.
Don't ever for a moment leave Benjamin by himself.
I won't. I promise. I'll be right back.
Evelyn, start the water.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Amanda.
Sam, a word?
Sure.
Timothy, let's help Amanda get something for your ma.
All right.
Sarah's awake. She will have this baby tonight.
Are you sure?
Absolutely sure. I need to turn it.
Okay.
I'll call you if I need you.
Sure. Ethan, I don't know what to do.
Heavenly Father, you know what it's like to be a dad. You know what it's like to watch your child suffer. So you know what it's like for this faithful servant of yours to want what's best for his family. God, his wife is so young, and his daughter so beautiful. Protect them. Protect that baby. And give Timothy courage, whatever happens.
God, you are still good.
Ben, you didn't find her?
No, the church was locked. She didn't get in.
Sean?
Pa, there wasn't a sign of her anywhere. The snow's coming down pretty hard, but we could look again.
Timothy, come here.
Yeah, Pa?
When did you last see your sister? Do you remember her saying anything about going anywhere specific? Think as hard as you can.
No, I don't remember. We were visiting with Ma, and then she told me something later about planning a gift for the babies. Something special. I went upstairs, and when I came down, I figured she was in the kitchen with Amanda and Mrs. Rosgard. I guess I was wrong.
Ethan, every minute we sit here, that storm is getting worse.
I know.
Tim, I need you to listen to me very carefully. Keep warm with Amanda and Mrs. Rosgard. I'll come back to you as soon as I can.
No!
I need you to be brave.
Sam.
What? I know. I shouldn't leave again. Tell me what to do, Ethan.
Stay here with your son.
I can't.
You will, because Sarah needs you to be safe.
All right. I'll stay. But if you don't find her in the next 30 minutes, I want you to come get me so I can help you find my daughter.
We will.
The car's out front.
You be careful.
We will. And Evelyn, keep this house warm. Be ready to take care of frostbite, if you have to.
Sam?
I'm here. It's okay.
What's that sound?
A snowstorm. It's getting colder, too. Can I get you anything?
No, I'm fine. Timothy must be thrilled.
He's okay.
I don't want this baby to come early.
I know. But it is. And you'll make me as proud as any other time. You know, Sarah, I've been very selfish with you.
Sam.
No. I've made so many mistakes. I'm sorry.
Serving the church is no mistake.
Of course not. But I realize now that I'm just no minister. I think the Lord has other things for me to do before I ever do something like that again.
Like
take care of you.
Angela!
Is anyone there?
Angela!
Where are you?
Pa?
Yeah?
She's not here. Why would she come back to the barnyard?
Henry said he thought he'd seen her pass by. I don't know where else she'd go.
I'll get into the house. Ethan, check the animal pens. Walk every inch of that fence if you have to, and feel down along the ground just in case.
I'll check in the barn.
Good. Meet at the house. If you can't see it, Sean, I want you to stay in the barn until this blows over.
You can't be serious.
I'm very serious.
I'll follow the fences.
Good.
Let's go, Pa.
Angela! Angela!
Angela!
Angie? Are you in here? Hello? Oh, man. Pa! Pa, I found her! I found her! She's in the barn! Hey, come here, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, thank God. Let me hold her.
She's freezing.
I know. Take a shoe and pull.
What are we doing?
Saving her feet.
I'll get some snow. Here, Pa. Take some of the snow and rub that foot. Gently, though, or you'll tear the skin. Oh, she's shivering.
I know. Here, take my coat and wrap her up tight.
No, what about you?
Forget about me. Just do it. Angie, we're gonna get you home. We'll get you to Dr. Haskins right away.
In this?
You got any other ideas?
But, Pa, Pa, the house is right here. We'll start a fire in the kitchen stove and warm her there. We can't make it back to town in this.
We don't have any food, Sean. And Haskins will need to take a look at these feet. Let's go.
Sean,
Yes?
don't leave the kittens. Please.
What? Where?
Over there, in the corner where I was. Please don't leave them.
Sean, get the kittens.
You're not kidding.
Sean.
All right. Here, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. Pa, you won't believe this. I think she saved their lives. They're warm.
Put them in your coat. Now let's go.
The snow is coming down too hard.
Which means we have very little time to make this work. Now get those animals in the car, and then I need you to go get Ben.
There he is. Ben, we found her!
Ethan, this is madness. We can't get back to town. I can hardly see a thing. We'll have to hold up here at the house until it's over.
We can't.
We will.
Then I'm going alone. Sam needs to know that Angie's okay, and she needs a doctor now.
All right, let's go. Get in.
Ben, you gotta get this thing going or we'll never make it out of here.
We'll make it.
Wait a minute. Why the kittens?
Never mind.
Just keep them inside your coat, Sean.
They're fine, Pa. Would you just worry about what's happening on the road?
Ben, take it easy.
Drive the way I want to, Carter. Sean, can you see the ditch on your side?
No. Wait. No, stop! Well, now I see it.
Judge, you okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone else?
We're fine.
What happened?
We're in the ditch.
Will we die?
No, Angie. We'll be alright.
But this isn't good at all.
Pa,
Yes.
did you smell snow coming on the wind this time?
No. I didn't.
Pa,
Yeah, Tim.
Angie will never find her way back by herself. She's too small.
Ben and the others will bring her home again. Right now, you and I need to stay here with your ma until we know that she'll be okay.
Pa,
Yeah?
I was selfish.
What do you mean?
Mr. Carter, he's not my sister's father. He's not the one that should be looking for her, Pa. You should be out there instead. And it wasn't fair of me to expect you to stay here with me when Angie's the one that's in trouble. Anyway, maybe I should find her myself. It's my fault that Angela's lost. I wasn't keeping her safe the way you asked me to.
No, Timothy, it's my fault. A father should never lose a child if he can help it. And that means you too.
You never lost me.
Maybe not this way, Tim. No, of course not. But I haven't been a very good father to you in a long time. I don't blame you for wanting me to stay. I made so many decisions without talking to you. I hurt you more than I'll probably ever know. Nothing in this world seems fair right now, but that was more than I should have expected you to handle on your own. There's one more thing I still need to say to you, Tim.
You don't have to.
No, I do. Whenever we do something wrong, Tim, it's always important to apologize to the person we failed to love. No matter how right we think we are, or no matter how embarrassed we are to admit that we failed. It is always important to say, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, Pa.
Me too. You know, I love you very much.
I love you too, Pa. And this made me realize something.
What's that?
I think I need to apologize to Simeon. It wasn't his fault that all these things happened when they did. And Mr. Rosgard has every right to do what he wants with his son. Simeon was excited, and I was lonely.
Timothy, you know, I'm very, very proud of you.
I'm proud of you too, Pa.
Sam, we're very concerned.
My pa and my brother and Mr. Rosgard, they've been gone for a long time. Too long.
I know.
Amanda, why don't you go and see if Dr. Haskins needs anything?
Of course.
Sam, they must be in trouble. That car will not get through in this storm.
Think they could be lost like Angie?
Sam, I'm worried about them.
Pa, go. Please, find my sister and bring her home again.
Judge, I don't think this is gonna work. The snow's coming down too fast. The car's almost buried up to the hood in the ditch.
Well then shovel faster!
Trust me, city boy. Get inside. You'll freeze to death without that coat you gave to Angie.
Pa?
Yeah?
Angela's getting awfully cold. She's not talking anymore.
Here, let me take her. Angela, sweetheart. Angie, I know you're awake. Say something. I know you can hear me.
Mr. Carter, it's so cold.
I know. But listen, do you hear that?
Yeah.
These kittens are worried about you. Here, hold one.
Judge, she's very warm.
Yeah, she is. Maybe if you hold her against you like this, under your coat, you'll keep them safe from the cold.
Yeah.
Hold her close.
Pa, what are we going to do? You know we can't stay here, and you know we're not going to make it home. We should have stayed at the berry farm.
I know. Let me think.
If we stay in this car much longer, Ethan, we won't be able to get out. It might keep us warm for a while, but I'm not sure how long this storm will last.
Then we gotta walk.
Are you serious?
Let's get Angie out and covered as much as we can.
I'm not bringing those kittens.
No, it'll be better if we leave them here.
No, Mr. Carter, please.
You are the first priority. We'll come back for them later, I promise.
Mr. Carter, what if my mom dies before I can bring her my gift?
Angie, things can get pretty scary at times, can't they? But we can't keep asking ourselves, what if? Instead, we need to tell ourselves, just go, and trust that everything will be okay in the end.
Pa, it's only about a mile to Johnson's place. We can't leave the road. We'll get lost, but if we hurry, we should be able to make it there without any trouble.
Sure, he's right.
Are you absolutely certain there isn't anything else we can do? That wind will be brutal.
Dad, I know you want Sam to know that she's going to be alright. The only way that's going to happen is if we get her somewhere warm and fast. Town is too far.
Ethan, listen to him, please.
All right, but wrap her up as best we can. We don't want to make the situation worse.
Angela, hold on to the judge as hard as you can, sweetie. He needs to shelter you from the wind. Here we go.
Sean, you coming?
I'm right behind you, Pa. This wind is terrible. I can hardly hear you.
Well, then stay close. Ben, I'll need you to guide the way.
Hey, listen to that. Can you hear that?
No, Ben, what do you hear?
Look!
It's a wagon!
It can't be.
It is, Sean. It's Sam. Hey! Hey, over here!
Ma, do you think Mr. Barry really meant to sell that cow?
What do you mean?
It's just that Timothy didn't seem like he wanted to get rid of it. You know, she's a good cow and all, but why would he want his pa to sell her to us?
Well, I have a pretty good feeling that Timothy didn't want his pa to do anything with her at all.
Then why did he do it?
I suppose they needed the money. Why does anybody do anything like that nowadays, huh?
That's really too bad, then, I guess, for Tim. I don't know how I'd feel if Pa sold one of my animals just to pay a bill.
I know. It'd be pretty tough.
Ma,
Yes?
I don't think about anybody else much, do I? Just me.
Oh, I think you get distracted by things that are important to you. It happens to all of us.
I'm really sorry about the way I treated Timothy. I was a little proud of the fact that Pa wanted to take me on such an adventure.
Sure. You love your Pa. You were excited.
But Timothy wasn't. I think I wanted him to be excited for me, so that I could really know how special it was.
I think you already know how special it is to have a Pa who wants to spend time with his boy.
Yeah, I guess. Ma, do you think Pa would let us take Timothy and Mr. Barry with us next time? You know, on a camping trip?
I think so. But first, I think it's important that you tell Timothy that you're sorry. By yourself.
Is this a moment of
propriety?
Yeah.
It means having good manners and being decent, doing things the correct way. And believe me, being able to say that you're sorry is a very correct way to live.
Thanks, Ma.
Mrs. Rosgard, Dr. Haskins needs you now. He told me to tell you that it's time.
You're coming with me?
Me?
Of course. You didn't think we'd do this by ourselves.
Yeah, but you don't need me in there to help with any of that. I'd just be in the way. What if something happens?
You mean, what if something happens like what happened to your mom? Honey, you don't need to be afraid.
Look, I wasn't in the room when my mom had my little brother. I was far too young to see something like that. But I could hear my pa crying a lot. The baby cried for a little while too, but then everything was awfully quiet. Dr. Haskins brought the baby out all covered up. He let me see him quick, but I didn't touch him. He was so blue and very still. My ma's door was open and I looked inside real fast. My pa was lying on the bed holding her hand. He was crying again and I could tell he wanted to die. Evelyn, I just can't see something like that again.
Sarah isn't going to die today. That baby is coming now and the doctor needs our help. You live in this world, Amanda Carter, and bad things happen all the time. But good things happen too. And no matter what happens, now or ever, always remember that this is not it. Okay? It is not it. The real stuff is yet to come. And your ma and your brother and Ann Johnson and a whole lot of other people who have gone on before us, well, they know that now more than anybody.
I suppose you're right.
Now, let's go. Let's bring a new Barry baby into this very interesting world.
Who would be idiotic enough to be outside in this? I hear ya. Hang on.
Henry, let us in.
Ben Rosgard? Judge, Sean, what are you... Sam, what's the matter?
Hey, over there.
Henry's cot.
Put her down nice and easy, Billy. And be careful.
Angie, here's another blanket. Are you doing okay?
She's too cold, Sean. Henry, you got any extra blankets?
Of course I do.
Get them. Sean, go with them and bring as many as you can find. Ben, we're gonna need some hot water and fast.
Of course.
Follow me, Ben. I put on a fresh pot of coffee just before you came. I've been trying all day to keep this place from freezing over.
I was hoping to make it to your place, Sam.
I know, and I appreciate the effort, but we won't make it across town in the dark. The wind's already unbearable, and it's getting worse. Angie's safe now. That's all I care about.
Here, Pa. Henry found this heavy wool blanket in the storeroom. Ben's getting the coffee poured, and Henry's making us something to eat.
Well, it certainly won't be like your wife's cooking, Sam. But we'll get something warm into your little girl, and I know she'll start coming around.
Sam, let me see your feet. I've handled frostbite before. I might be able to help.
What do you think?
Well, I'm no Haskins, but I think she'll be okay. I don't think she'll lose anything, but those toes will be awfully painful for a while. We'd best get some snow on them again. I'll see if Henry has anything to help ease the pain, too. When she really starts coming around, she'll need it pretty bad.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate all you've done.
It's no problem, Sam. Really. I'll go talk to Henry.
Thank you. You okay?
I think so. How could all of this happen now? With everything we've been through, Judge.
I don't know. When one thing happens, everything else just seems all that much worse, I guess. So then it all seems like the whole world is caving in at the same time.
I think my world did finally just cave in. And believe it or not, I think I survived.
Yeah, you did.
Judge, I want to apologize for the way I've been treating you. You are a very close friend, and someone I care about very much. You were only trying to help, and the more you wanted to, the less I wanted you to do it.
I know.
Thank you for all of this.
Of course.
You know, Ethan, a lot of the time I wish that you were my dad.
I'm flattered, Sam. But I think it's best that you remember your dad loves you too. Very much. I lost my dad when I was young. And a boy grows up not realizing how important his father really is until he doesn't have him around anymore.
I guess you're right.
I'll go see what's keeping Sean. Can I bring you anything?
Just something warm.
Sure.
Papa?
Hey, how are you doing, kid? Are you feeling any warmer?
A little.
Good. We'll give you something to eat, but we'll also have to keep your toes pretty cold for a while until your body gets used to the warmth again.
My toes itch a lot. Papa, they do.
I know. They must. And yes, it might hurt for a while, but that's a good sign. You walked pretty far, Angie. Why?
Mama says that I should think of a special gift just for the baby, and I miss the kittens. I thought maybe the baby would like something so little and soft.
Angie, it was very thoughtful of you. But do you realize how dangerous it was to leave the house without telling anybody? And to walk so far?
I wasn't scared.
Oh, sweetheart.
Not until I tried to leave the barn again. The snow was beautiful when I walked out to the farm. It was just the wind that was a bit scary at times. But when I wanted to leave with the kittens, it just was too cold and frightening. I didn't know if anybody would know where to find me. And then John Carter came walking in. I'm sorry that I made you so afraid.
Oh, Angie, you know I forgive you. But next time, never go anywhere without telling me first.
I won't, I promise.
Good.
Papa?
Yeah?
I'm glad you came looking for me.
Angie, from now on, I will always come looking for you.
Sounds like the storm is letting up.
Why isn't the baby here yet? How long does it take?
I don't know, but your little brother has been in bed for a really long time. I suppose it would be okay if you wanted to go too.
No. Not until my pa gets back. I don't want to be asleep when he and Angie come home.
Do you think my pa will find his way back in the storm? I mean, do you think Judge Carter and Sean and my pa and Mr. Barry, do you think they're all going to be okay too?
I forgot your pa was out there.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play chess?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Look, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, this is so amazing.
Congratulations, Sarah. She's beautiful.
Oh, she's so tiny.
She's as little as my own baby doll.
Yes.
A little more fragile, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I think she's quite strong and very, very brave.
What's her name?
I don't know. Sam?
Her name is Anne.
I like it.
Me too.
And I have something for you, Anne.
A present?
Let's see what it is.
Look, there's a card taped to the bottom of the box.
Now, let me see here. To the Barry family at Christmas. This is how we know what love is. that he laid down his life for his friends.
Open it! Open it!
Okay, you open it.
Hurry up!
I'm going as fast as I can. Oh, look, Ma.
It's beautiful.
Let it play.
That's something. I'd forgotten how a song can make you feel.
Hey, there's something else.
Yeah, there is, Ma. You should read it this time.
To the Barry family, surprises never end. Sam, you were never meant to be a preacher.
Hey.
You were never meant to be a preacher because you have too much to give somewhere else. Have my farm? It's the least I can do for a neighbor that deserves it. What?
You can't be serious.
But that's what this card says.
I don't understand. Johnson can't do that. He just can't do that.
Sure he can.
Judge, you know about this?
Mr. Johnson talked to me about this quite a few days ago. He respects you far more than you'll ever know, Sam. He has a sister in Chicago that wants to take him in, and he's more than ready to make a fresh start somewhere else.
But he can't. He shouldn't give us the only place that's ever belonged to him.
Pa, we can live on a farm again.
We can?
Yes, and we can have animals and a dog and everything else. And I can be a farmer after you, Pa. You see? He knows. God really knows where the wisdom is.
Yeah, I'd say that's just about right, Tim. That's right.
Ethan, we don't know what to say.
He's not my father, Ethan. He doesn't have to do this for me.
He's not your father, but your father's the one that agreed to it in the first place.
TJ?
And Whitney both. They've stayed out of the way for a while, but not because they don't care about what happens to you, but because they've been praying for you as hard as they can.
I don't deserve this.
This is not a trade. He doesn't expect or feel as if he needs to receive anything in return. This is a gift.
I hate to break it up in here, folks, but this little girl and her mama need some well-deserved rest. Angie, Tim, that means you too.
Okay.
Okay.
And you, young lady.
Yes, sir.
I want to take one more look at those feet before I go home.
Dr. Hoskins?
Yes?
My pa saved them. You look as long as you like.
Ethan, I'm sorry, but we'll have to find somebody else to fill that pulpit at church again.
We will. Don't worry about that. Sam, you've been the church to Mr. Johnson and to so many others. We've all learned that a man in the pulpit is called, but he's called to shepherd the flock that the Lord is also calling to serve. We all serve, even in our own little way. Thank you for being faithful.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Just rest. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You okay?
Yeah. I think I am.
I heard the preacher tell the story once. He told the story about the lost sheep and how his pa found him in a very important way. But I don't think this story was so much about the lost and how he was found. The story isn't always about those who go missing, but about the one who finds.